Hey everybody, it's another episode of AJ Opens Boxes, the show where AJ, that's me, opens up boxes, and I got a caja misteriosa for you here. That's a mystery box in Spanish, I believe. This is the Funko Marvel Collector Core box. You get exclusively from Amazon. Originally, you used to get these boxes directly from Funko, but then they passed on the distribution, whatever, to Amazon a couple of years ago. I've been a subscriber to the Collector Core boxes from the very beginning. It's one of my favorite boxes to get because it's the only one I get on a regular basis. I get a few of the other boxes, but I've always gotten these and love them. This box is obviously Black Widow. Black Widow is the theme this bi-month. I guess they're released bi-monthly, by the way. So this particular box, this is the Black Widow. Now this would have coincided with the release of the movie. I believe the movie was originally slated to come out May 1st. Obviously that did not happen because of, well, the pandemic and all that stuff, and the release date currently is November 6th. However, just the way that marketing and other tie-ins, things were already, kind of in the pipeline, so to speak. That's why all the toys and the other pops have already come out, or, are currently in stores now. So Black Widow is already on the way, and that's okay. Oh, yay. But let's get into it. Quick editorial note. You may notice if you've watched my other boxes, I usually actually keep them in the external box that they now come in when you get them from Amazon. They actually come in a box. But I'm kind of doing away with that. Part of it is so I don't bring out my trusty rusty knife. Part of that is because I don't have my trusty rusty knife on me anymore, because as soon as I get home, where I shoot this, I take all my clothes off. That sounds weird. I change my clothes, I should probably say, which obviously doesn't include taking them off. And I would have it on my belt buckle, but now I'm wearing pajama pants, and it doesn't have a belt buckle on my pajama pants, so probably too much information there, so let's get back to it. So, and also and the main reason I do that is because I know I kind of pre-open it now and kind of look inside, so I've already looked in. I know, so it's not a mystery to me, and honestly, it's probably not a mystery to you, because you can see in the title what the box is, as well as by the time I'll be able to get these suckers produced, because I kind of get them done when I get them done, these videos, you probably have already been spoiled what's in this box. So this at least allows me to give a little more commentary, a little more, now when I know what's in the box, I can talk about it more, instead of just being like, oh, wow, I'm very surprised, and I am not prepared to talk about it at all. So with that said, the box is cool. I will notice something. This is something before we get into it. I think at least in the last two boxes, Infinity Saga and Fantastic Four, this box is the same exact size. I think Marvel, or excuse me, Funko, I'm assuming in conjunction with Marvel, has gotten a formula for the boxes now. So now they kind of have the same sort of stuff in them, and I'll get into that a little bit later. But I've just noticed these, at least three boxes, are all the same size. I've got other Collector Core boxes since, well, I mean, from the very beginning, they've always had different size boxes, but since Amazon took over the distribution, the sizes varied a bit. But now I think they've kind of settled on this particular size box, because honestly, the contents are very, as far as like what type of contents you get, are all the same. But cool box. You get the Black Widow symbol there. That's her symbol. It's a very iconic of hers, so that's very cool. And let's see what we got in there. Like I said, I have already opened up stuff up, but the first thing in here is going to be the t-shirt. And honestly, this is a really cool t-shirt. I really dig it. I mean, they got like a dark kind of ash gray, as opposed to like a black or a blue that they've done before, and so I think it's really cool, and the artwork is incredible. I mean, it's really well done. It's a very intricate, I mean, obviously it's in pop style, that's kind of the thing that they do now, but it's just a beautiful artwork. Whoever did it should be very proud of themselves. So I just love this. This is actually a really great shirt, and it's definitely going to be one of my, oh, that's a weird way to hold the shirt. It's definitely going to be one of my favorites. I mean, obviously I'm wearing my Captain Marvel here, one of my favorites, because I get to, I do wear this shirt a lot, but because I like Captain Marvel. I like it, my picture taken with Captain Marvel. I got a lot of friends that I think look like Captain Marvel. Big Captain Marvel fan, sorry, but that doesn't mean there can't be other kick-ass chicks like the Black Widow. I don't know if it's really like nice to call them chicks, but no, it's trying to. Anyway, a lady who's very super and heroic, superhero, Black Widow. So very cool shirt. I dig it. I love it. I think it's a really good one, and I'm glad. Yeah, I just think it's just the colors and everything, just the style. It looks. This is just a beautiful T-shirt. I'm definitely gonna wear it. So I will say I'm gonna put the there's a postcard I'll show at the end there. What's in it? But they've kind of gotten to a formula that like the boxes are going to have these particular items in it. And I'll talk a little bit later. So the first item is going to be a decal. I mean, the last 2 boxes had decals in them. I think, I didn't see if the one before that had a decal, but this is cool. It's kind of like a very like Soviet style Red Guardian. He's one of the characters in the movie, and I'll talk about him in a little bit. But I don't know, it's different. I mean, a decal is just like a specific type of sticker, but I don't know, it's kind of cool. It's not done in Funko style, but it does, you know, does kind of fit for the movie. So I like it. I think it's really cool. I mean, that's different. You know, it's got the Red Guardian and it says something in Russian. I don't know what it says. I probably could have looked it up, but I don't know how to type in half those letters. So hopefully it says something cool. I mean, it doesn't say something inappropriate. This is not the type of box. So, all right. So the next item is the pin. Now the pin is, I think this pin's really cool. It's of Taskmaster. Taskmaster is one of my favorite villains. I've always liked him since, I think he started, I mean, he's an old school villain. I think he goes back to at least the 70s, maybe earlier. But they've doing different things. The character's definitely evolved in the comic book. I don't know how they're going to play him in the movie, but he looks pretty cool. And a lot of the other pops that they've had of him are super cool. I mean, I need to do a video on just the pops of Taskmaster. He's basically a villain that can he's got like photographic memory. I don't know how, but basically, if he sees you do it, he can do it possibly better. So, you know, he sees Hawkeye shoot bow and arrows, he can shoot a bow and arrow. He sees Captain America throw his shield, he can throw the shield, etc., etc. Black Panther claws. So it goes a lot with a lot of the different pops that they've made. So that's his thing. He's not like a super powerful, like, so he can throw a shield like Captain America, but he can't like turn into the Hulk because he's seen the Hulk. So he can adapt skills, but not, that's it. So anyway, all right, now let's get into the pops. There are 2 pops, and that's what I was going to say real quick, that they have gotten to a formula where it's 2 pops, a decal, a pin, and a t-shirt. They've always had somewhat of a formula, but it had a little more leeway. Now they've kind of definitely last several boxes kind of focused in on this is the kind of stuff they give. I mean, but before they used to do patches and pins, a little different size, a little smaller pin, which I kind of like, but these are still cool too. But it used to be like a pop, another Funko product, and then a wearable. So the wearable sometimes was a hat, sometimes it was a scarf. My favorite was the Guardians Galaxy scarf. But they've gotten it back to t-shirts, and that's okay. But I did like it when they had a little more like, well, is it going to be a hat? Is it going to be something different? So that's all I want to say about that, I guess, because that's enough. So they definitely kind of gotten to, I think that's probably maybe for cost-saving measures or whatever, that they've kind of gone down to where this is what we're going to have. But part of it is also they now just do 2 pops because pops have been the biggest thing. I mean, Dorbs have kind of come and gone. I mean, you could still get Dorbs, I think, but they're not as, you know, they never obviously peaked as much as pops did. And there's other things, you know, rock candy and things that they might still make a little bit, but they're not as popular as the pop. So it makes sense that they're sticking with pops. So the first one I'll go in numerical order is, of course, Black Widow. This is, of course, the exclusive to the box. You can only get these 2 particular pops in the box. This is a cool figure, and it is really, really detailed. I'm going to show you here, but you know, it's a cool box, and they show the other ones that you can also get, all the different characters, the different Taskmasters and stuff. But this is a super cool pop, and I think they did an amazing job on it. Pull her out. Now she's a female character, so she comes at the base. Only because female characters tend to be designed with smaller feet, so that's why that's only I bring that up. But I think this is great. This is super detailed pop. I mean, I just love it. She's kind of like an actiony thing, shooting that like grappling hook or whatever it is she's doing with it. That is a super great thing. But there's other details. You know, I don't know what they're going to do with the character in the movie. It's kind of like her going back to her past and kind of figuring something out. I mean, I believe it takes place somewhat after Captain America's Civil War, but before all the Avengers Infinity War and all that stuff movies. So she's going back. She goes back to Russia. It seems, that's what I'm assuming from the trailers and stuff. But you know, and kind of takes care of some old business. So with that said, she still sticks with. There's a lot of. I mean, even though I know she's wearing the green vest that she wears later in Infinity War and stuff. But a couple things I noticed about it. She does have her Widow's stingers on both of her wrists. That's kind of cool. And also on her belt, you can see the Black Widow symbol. So even though this costume is obviously not all black, which kind of You're like, well, doesn't Black Widow wear all black? And that's not why they call her Black Widow, though that's, you can understand the aesthetic to go with the costume, with the name and all that stuff. But, you know, that's definitely, it's a very tactical costume, but still has those elements that are very unique to her. One thing, a couple things I noticed about this, and I wonder about what this is going to show for the movie. She's got some battle damage. You can see, like, she's got a bloody nose. She looks like she's you know, all dusty or bruised. They even did that on the box art too. So this is like, this was intentional. It's not like, this is not like a dirty pop. But I think that's kind of cool. So it's gonna be something that probably in the movie I'm gonna see this and be like, oh, it makes sense. But I love that it's an action pose. Well, it's, you know, just I think the grappling gun especially is cool. Overall, just I really love the detail. I think they did a great job with the detail. They do have, like, she's got long hair. I noticed that, like, the mold's kind of like they made the head and they added the hair because it's obviously longer than most normal have. Most hair is on a pop, and you can kind of see, at least on mine, where kind of just glued on. That's okay. I mean, I was gonna say, if I was gonna really, you know, if I was gonna make a critique, I wish that was more integrated into her hair, because you can kind of definitely see where, you know, the glued on hair and the pop head hair there. So that's minor detail, but other than that, just the incredible, but the rest of it makes up for all the detail in it. I mean, just it's got painted, she's like battle damage, like one of her boots is kind of off colored, like, you know, she'd got into something. And then just like the little pouch, I mean, everything about this, there's super detailed. The pouches on her belt, like their pants are like different, like textures on her pants for, like, you know, like just the different ways, and just like the little bit battle damage. So tons of detail on the body of this pop, and plus the great, you know, she's got like a bunch of crazy earrings on one ear, which is okay. But I think they did an amazing job for this, with this pop. Second pop, and this is a fun one. This is Alexei. Is that Alexei? Hopefully I'm pronouncing that properly. He is the Red Guardian in the movie. Now there's been several Red Guardians in the comic book. He's probably one of the more prolific ones, but at the same time, some Red Guardians are those characters who's not like a main character. I think that probably people half the time you didn't care who was in the costume. But speaking of, like, going back in time, you know, go back to your roots, he seems like he's past his prime. The Red Guardian is more or less, to boil him, maybe oversimplify him, pardon me, good American baseball, not like they have in Russia. But in Russia, they don't have Captain America, they have the Red Guardian. So he's somewhat roughly like the equivalent of Captain America in Russia. So that's what he is. And so he's a little bit past his prime. He's played by David Harbour, who was, you know, in Stranger Things and in the Hellboy reboot that, like, I and 3 other people watched. But he's kind of like, you know, he's past his prime. He's a little older. He's got gray hair. He's a little overweight, and that's okay. Nobody's perfect. I'm a little overweight myself. No need to body shame. But he looks like he's carrying a Red Guardian action figure. So I'm assuming that plays somewhat into the movie. Like, maybe he's like reminiscing his old days. Like, look, I had an action figure. So I'm kind of cool like that. It does look like he's got some battle damage here. I mean, he does, from the trailers you've seen, he looks like he gets into a lot of fighting too. Like, he may be past his prime, but that doesn't mean he's out of the game. So I think that's gonna be cool. I'm really excited. I mean, this costume, of course, it looks like he's just wearing like a jumpsuit or something. But I do think it's still the fact that he's carrying the action figure. That's a pretty detailed. They did a good job detailing that action figure. It looks like an action figure. It doesn't look like a pop. So it's got like proportional head and all that stuff. I think it would have been cool if they tried to make it look like more pop style but that's probably a little too much of detail. But either way, it's still very detailed, well painted, and just a really great pop. In the comic book, I know at one point he was married to Black Widow, and I think they referenced that in the I'm not sure if they referenced that in the trailer or not, and they may or may not do it that way. They may not play it that way in the movie. Obviously, they can change things a lot for a variety of reasons. But he was, I will say one thing about Red Guardian. He was created by Roy Thomas and John Buscema. Roy Thomas is a very big name in comic books. He's actually the guy who succeeded Stan Lee as editor-in-chief at Marvel. John Buscema is a great classic artwork. I mean, I love what I call classic artwork, like John Romita Sr. versus John Romita Jr. Just that really, like, I don't know. I think I just love that, just kind of very classic artwork of that from the 60s and 70s. That drew cool people like Taskmaster and stuff and Avengers and stuff. So Cool character. I think they're gonna play him up real fun. I like David Harbour. I know everybody. I know like Hellboy, like was pretty dismal as far as performance wise, but I thought he did a great job with it. He was definitely different than Ron Perlman, and I definitely like Ron Perlman more as Hellboy. But David Harbour's still a fun actor, and I think everything he's in is fun to see. He's a fun actor. That's fun. So I'm excited to see what he does with the character. It looks like it's gonna be really cool, and I think he's kind of a good guy because you're kind of on Black Widow's side, I guess, and he's on Black Widow's side. At least appears that way. Who knows? They're all spies. They could all turn their backs on each other. Maybe Taskmaster's really a good guy. I don't know. I've made that up. So anyway, these are great pops. I think they did a good job, even though I do wish they had the more like a pop and something different, But if you're going to have two pops, make them two cool pops. And I think they did that, mainly just because the details and actiony pose of this one. And I don't know, he's holding an action figure. That's hilarious. I just love that. I do like something they did with the boxes. Pardon me. I will actually say one critique. I did take pictures of him, and he was kind of hard to get to stand up. Sometimes with Marvel are all bobbleheads, and so it could. I'm not sure if it's a design or a factory. I don't want to say flub, a factory flub. He doesn't stand up totally straight. He kind of like almost like he's like resting on his heels. That could be just because like maybe the spring, whatever, if that gets bent a little bit in one way, the weight distribution then gets balanced off. Also, his hair's kind of long in the back. I don't know if that might add more weight to the hair, so he kind of leans back a little bit. That just might be my particular pop. I don't know if that's a design flaw throughout them. A little critique. Still a great pop, but I like to do those critiques. I do like that when they have backings in the boxes. It adds something to it. So they obviously have the Black Widow symbol more kind of akin to the movie. I think that's cool. So, and they have them both boxes have the Black Widow symbols in the background. So I mean, I like little details like that. Kind of adds to it. So there you go. The postcard, of course, comes with, tells you what's in it. Again, they've gone to this is going to be, I think, standard probably for the boxes for now until they decide to change it. But now they've done a couple different things here and there, but now they're definitely going to do the 2 pops, t-shirt, pin, and decal. Decal just being a sticker that is different, whatever. Yeah. Anyway, the t-shirt seems that the last couple times they've done it, they're doing them now just all the t-shirts in the pop style. If you go back to the original Collector Core boxes, like the first year or two, sometimes the t-shirts were not done in Funko style. They're in pop style. So you'd wear it and you'd be like, no one knows a Funko shirt. Unless, they looked really close, I guess, or knew it, and that's okay. But as always, they then tell you what the next box is. Speaking of which, so on this other side is X-Men. X-Men's going to be the next box. This is not the first X-Men box that the Amazon Funko Collector Core boxes have done. I actually did the first X-Men box, I guess probably almost a year ago. I don't know how long ago it was, but so it's another X-Men box. I mean, X-Men have gotten big again in the comic books, probably in part because they got the movie rights came back to them from Fox, so they're probably more likely to try to promote them a little more. But X-Men have always been big, so that's not a surprise. I'm excited to see what they come up with, so we'll see how that goes. And sorry, comrades, I drink American water. I don't know why I would talk like that. That didn't make sense at all. So there you go. There is the Black Widow Funko Collector Core box. I hope you liked it. I think it's a really great box. Love the t-shirt. I think the detail on the pops is super cool. Overall, I mean, I don't understand why more people don't subscribe to these boxes. I mean, it's always funny that I think with tax and everything, and mind you, I have Amazon Prime, so I'm not sure if that saves me money on shipping. It was like $31.86 or some 31 and some change. It's funny, people like won't get it, and then they'll say, I'm not going to get it till I know what's in it. And then it comes out, and then one of the pops goes up and super high in value, and someone who bought the box is now selling, one pop for $70. I'm like, guys, it comes out bi-monthly. It's not even every month. Every month, if you got 30-something bucks, I highly recommend it. I know, obviously, people have different financial situations. I don't want anybody straining themselves just because, hey, I told you to subscribe to this. But if you're into Funko, and the people that buy Funko Pops all the time anyway, I don't understand why more people don't subscribe to this box. I mean, it's 30 bucks, plus tax or whatever. You get a great box. You get definitely 2 good pops. It just takes 1 or 2 pop. If everybody was worried about value, I'm not, because I like to collect them. But I think it's a cool box, and they always have cool stuff. So I'm excited for the next box, X-Men. I'm excited for the movie Black Widow, and I'm also excited for my social media. You can always check me out on the Twitter at @A_J_Roberts. That's at AJ Roberts. And of course, I'm on the Instagram at the AJ Show TV. Be forewarned, I show a lot of pictures of my wieners on the Instagram. Just like to give people a little heads up on that. Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to click like and subscribe and all that fun YouTube stuff that people say to do. You know, comment and share if you want to. That's always a bonus. I'd like to give a question of the day. The question of the day is, they made a lot of MCU movies. They got a couple more coming out. What MCU movie are you looking most forward to? I know there's the Eternals, there's Shang-Chi, there's, I want to say there's supposedly a new Ant-Man coming up, another Captain Marvel, another Black Panther. There's a lot of movies that have been announced. I know there's some are in production, some are still working. What's your favorite MCU movie coming out that you kind of most look forward to? Is it Black Widow? Is it another one? Or is it one that you hope they do make? They haven't yet. I don't know. I'm always waiting for an Avengers West Coast movie one of these days, maybe. But that's my question of the day. Let me know in the comments below your favorite upcoming MCU movie or one that you're looking forward to especially. And thanks again for watching. Of course, like I said, click like and subscribe. One of the easiest ways to subscribe is just there you go. Click Iron Weenie in the corner there. That's the easiest thing. Please check out more of my videos to the sides of me right there and like and all that good stuff to them. And I really appreciate it. So until the Red Guardian gets back in shape again, keep boxing it up.